Right, so you want to know the best settings for your Thrustmaster on F1 2022. Well, I'm going to take you through the settings that I use that I believe are the best in my opinion. You might want to change them a tiny bit, but this is what I use, so let's jump straight into it, shall we? First thing we're going to want to look at is Thrustmaster T300 control panel on PC. So if you don't have this and you're on Xbox or something, just discard this, but this is the settings that I am using. The gain setting 75% and then the rest of 100. So just so you know, that's what I'm using right there. And then we're just going to go into the game. I'm going to go down to, I've got to actually click on the game, go down to controls, vibration and force feedback. Then we're going to go across to my Thrustmaster, and that is my custom one. So if we start in calibration, all of this is 0 in mine because I don't need to do anything, but you might need to do steering dead zone, throttle dead zone, and brake dead zone. So if your car is braking a little bit when you're not touching the brake, you need to put the brake dead zone up a tiny bit to stop that from happening. If your car is steering when you're not steering, then put that up. If it's accelerating, you can see on the two little bars at the bottom of the screen where you see your acceleration and brake. If that acceleration is going a little bit, just put a little dead zone in there, which will completely stop that. Steering dead zone up there, throttle dead zone. But I don't need to do any of that because mine's perfectly fine, but you might need to do that. But if we back out of that, we're just going to go into vibration and force feedback. This is the bit that you want to know in it. So if we go in, I've got vibration and force feedback on. I run it at 118. I don't need to run it any more than that because we're not running a direct drive wheel, we're running a Thrustmaster, which is a belt driven wheel. We want the force feedback quite high, but we don't want it too high because we're going to actually be doing races. I do 25% races most of the time, and it's quite a lot after playing for a couple of hours if you've got a lot of force feedback. So 118 for me when driving for a little bit is probably right. On-track effects, I turned it down to 50. Rumble strip effects is down to 50. Off-track effects, I've turned completely off, but you can have it up at around 10 or 20 if you want, but I turn it completely off. The likelihood that I'm going to be off the track that much is not that high, and even when I am, I don't really want to be bouncing around everywhere with a wheel. Wheel dampener completely down to 1. Understeer enhancer, yes, because I want to feel more from the front wheels when it starts understeering. And maximum wheel rotation, I've turned it down to 300 instead of 360. I've turned it down 300 to make it easier when you are on tracks like Monaco and you go around the big hairpin. I don't want to have to steer my hands all the way around and cross them. So that's why that's down to 300. So that is my Thrustmaster settings for F1 2022. So if you like that, give me a like and a subscribe and check out my other videos.